knows we're good. He's gonna go live here soon. He'll let you know. We're on mute, right, Luke? He says we're live.
Go.
Well, I'm not trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you. The way you do the things you do remind me of my Lexus coupe. That's why I'm all up in your grill, trying to get you to a hotel. You must be a football coach. The way you got me playing the field, so let me give me that. Let me get that.
Beep beep.
Running her hands through my fro, bouncing on 24s, like they say radio is the remix to ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body, got every man in here wishing, sipping on coke and rum. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun.
Thank God it's Tuesday. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo, and bringing you the sound of basements all over this country at this very moment. I hope it sounds as good there as it does here. I'd like to say thank you to our whole team. We haven't just been broadcasting church for the last month and a half, although it feels like it. We've been getting prepared to do this show from the basement, and we hope that you like it. We're here to talk Redskins. Welcome to all our Hogs Havens folks. Let's bring in the team. He's Kevin Ricka.
What's happening, boys? Good to be here. Good to be hanging out, man. These graphics are sick. My head is huge.
He's Tim Strachan.
Hey, I want it written in my contract that every intro from now on First Amendment Sports has to involve Andrew Gearin with a solo intro.
Yeah, nice
That's
job,
one.
brother.
And two, I know my head looks big. Steele mentioned that my head looked big. What bothers me most is I'm doing my best Jay Gruden impression, and I even got the little hair coming out on the side. I had to tuck my hair behind my ears. Who tucks hair?
I saw that. I saw that on the first show.
I need a haircut. I'm giving Leslie the green light tomorrow to give it a shot. If it gets screwed up, I'm just buzzing it.
There's a lot of people showing faith in the people. Kevin, I'm saying you know how to cut hair. Kevin Ricka knows how to cut hair. A lot of people don't live with somebody who knows how to cut hair, and it's becoming kind of a thing if you happen to live with the right person.
Well, maybe that is, but I just thought T. Strachan's hair regenerated to the same length on a monthly scenario. It's never been different since the day he was born.
It's like Superman. Just a helmet of hair. But no, it's there it is. That's your Jimmy Johnson moment.
Look at that, man.
Fantastic.
Let her have it, buddy. Let her have it.
That's meme worthy. All of you on the boards tonight, grab that video and send us your best meme of it. I know you know how to do it.
I have to do this. When I have to do
Can't
this.
Wait to see it. Andrew Deeren and Luke David, who have been awesome First Amendment sports partners for the last month and a half, as we've been able to do some good things here in our neighborhood. Thank you to those guys. I want to say thank you to Dino Campbell, defensive coordinator of. He seems like a head coach. I mean, basically, he's head coach status. He's been a championship high school football coach for over 30 years. He was also the defensive coordinator of Chase Young at DeMatha High School out in Hyattsville, where a certain Tim Strachan went. Kevin, we didn't get to have you join the conversation, so I want to give you first crack at us and the WCAC Spectacular.
Listen, for those of you that don't understand the Dino Campbell situation, this man could be a head coach wherever the heck he wanted. He's been a 35-year assistant. He's one of the most respected football coaches in our area. He has He has coached some of the finest athletes from the conference we cover. More importantly, he's a great guy. But, listening to his perspective, Ken, was tremendous. He coached Juwan Bentley when he was in high school, Super Bowl winner 2 years ago. Rodney McLeod when he was with the Eagles, Super Bowl champ 3 years ago. Cameron Wake played for Dino Campbell. Cameron Wake is a 100-sack performer in the National Football League.
He's pretty good.
4-time Pro Bowler. So if you want Super Bowl champions, you want Pro Bowlers, this guy's seen talent, and I was hanging on every word he had to say. We're lucky to have him in there. I hope everyone gets a chance to listen to some of his perspective, especially on making everyone around the team better. I loved it.
Only the first time, T. Only the first time that Dino will have been on our show, because you can't have a WCAC spectacular without having him on as regular basis as anybody that comes on our show.
We might have to get a regular like segment, like the whiteboard with Dino, the professor, the whiteboard with Professor Dino. That's what we should come up with, an ongoing segment. He's the best, man. As Kevin has said, he's been doing it for a long time. He was the defense coordinator there when I played there. He's coached incredible, talented kids, helped them make it to not only the college level. We're lucky to have him as a friend of the show, and he texted me as soon as the show's over, says anytime. So got it going.
Hey, let me just say this real quick about Dino. There has been the WCAC. The WCAC began in 1991, a new section of the Washington Catholic League under different leadership. Went to a playoff format. There's been 29 championships since 1991. That man has been the defensive coordinator on the sidelines for 25 of them and took home 19 championships. That's as good as it gets, man.
It is, and I'm just so excited that once we get someone like that to come on the first time, then the floodgates open. He's going to start getting calls from us. Now we can get him on video from his cell phone at will. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think that Kevin, were you put at ease at all? I mean, not that you needed to, but put yourself in the shoes of all those people we talk to and hear from who are worried that you're overspending for a position that we don't quote unquote need. Now, this isn't something I agree with, but the idea that Chase Young, how about this, Kev? He loves football.
Who, Chase?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, we've spoken about Chase over and over. I've never changed my perspective. I've watched the young man play since 2013. I've watched him dominate at every level he's been at since then. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever about the character, about the work ethic, about the culture that we're trying to create. It's such a no-brainer to me. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not going to sit there and scream at you and tell you you're wrong. Let's just wait and see make sure this happens. Sit back and watch the show. It's not going to stop.
It's not going to stop, and I just love that when we started going down the Chase Young road, the first thing he talked about, and I think this is informative for especially all those Hogs Haven people that are tuning in and maybe commenting in. When people call looking for information on a football player, and the NFL, people also sleep on, they're like the FBI. Their investigative arm, every team has an FBI level investigative arm because they put tens of millions of dollars into guys. So a lot of times they're actually retired FBI and law enforcement, and they dig. And when they're looking for information on a guy, Dino said we got one question more than any other, and it's what everyone asks. Does he love to play the game? Does he love the sport? Or is he just looking, does he just think I can make $50 million because I'm one of the best athletes on the planet? And that's where the conversation started, and he loves football. I mean, what else do you want?
Yeah, no, that's not a crazy question. When you think about it, these guys are about to invest a lot of money to come in. And there's so many guys out there that are talented, may not love the game, may not love to work hard. And they're going to ask those coaches, great coaches, the guys that coached in high school, and they love the game because we're not about to invest so much money. Probably kind of in there's no doubt in my mind that's the question at the top of the list because you don't love the game. I've seen a lot of there's a lot that comes through college ranks, Maryland, guys are so talented, but they didn't know how to incorporate the work ethic. You know, a lot of those guys out there, and that's what investigators do. They go find everything.
Well, we're 2 days away from the NFL draft. It's going to be one of the most interesting events in our entire lifetimes. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit last week, but because we have the three shot there with the three of us and the TriCasters in the basement, it feels like we have to really set the table that this draft is going to be unlike anyone we've ever been a part of, for one reason only. It's the only sporting event, the live sporting event, that we're going to get for months before and potentially months after. And it's going to be weird and crazy, and people are probably going to lose their minds. We're going to lose our minds here. We hope you guys that are on the board tonight join us in doing so. We're going to have some fun guests leading up to the draft. We'll go live around 7 p.m. Eastern-ish, AGH. I don't know what time that is in Wales. Or any part of the UK, but I know that you do, and I know that you'll be there. We're going to talk with some of Chase's former teammates at various different levels of his football career, sports career, life, and we're going to talk about the coolness of the NFL draft, because that is worth celebrating. The NFL draft, guys, 2 days away. Tell me that you're not even just a little bit more pumped, because it's literally the only show in town, probably over like 100 to 150 day span.
Yeah, we got to cram a lot of fun into these next 3 days, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun doing it. But afterwards, no draft will ever be more scrutinized, because there ain't a damn thing else to do. And we're going to have fun doing that as well.
Well, also, people are going to lose their minds over an actual event, that's coming up, a live event. But you're right. Afterwards, there'll be a lot of scrutiny. But football's winning right now, man. Football's winning so far because it really hasn't disrupted much. The fact that they had the first and only live event, it's going to be a draft, and it's going to be the most widely watched draft in the history of the NFL.
It's the only thing that the NFL draft will be in Vegas. That's going to happen, and when it happens, it's going to be awesome. And NFL and Vegas is like the greatest marriage in the history of modern society and civilization. And it got postponed for 1 year by this. And so I just feel like that with everything that the NFL has brought to bear, it's being like squeezed through a little basement-sized, dispenser, because that's where everyone's locked up and stuck. And so the draft is going to come to us really a lot from like those places. That's why some weird stuff's, I think, gonna happen. Weird stuff's already happened. Gronkowski came out of retirement and got traded to the Bucs this afternoon. That's awesome. That's the NFL winning T. I mean, that's crazy. Tom Brady gets that makes O.J. Howard a little bit more available, I'm guessing. Kevin, do you think there's any chance the Buccaneers are now trading us for Trent?
I don't know about Trent. I mean, listen, I think if Gronkowski, they threw back a seventh for him. He got a fourth, and they chucked the seventh back in. So that means I think for a fifth, I know we don't have a sixth, but our second, our crappy fifth, let's have at it with O.J. Howard. And to be fair, everyone in the city of Tampa Bay and St. Pete, the Clearwater region, there was a lot of social distance people crapping in their jean shorts today. Gronkowski is coming to Tampa Bay. They might be more happy about that than Brady on some levels. I mean, it's on. It is full out on for them. Can you imagine how excited you'd be to be a Buccaneer, watching old Tom Brady and Gronkowski getting back together on the open seas as a couple of Pirates? This is going to be sick.
T, I mean, are you? I don't. See, Kevin.
I just love it when Kevin starts talking pirate talk.
Arg!
Okay, so there's your other meme opportunity. I mean, T, that's kind of where I was going. I just didn't know how to react to the pirate stuff. But you did it for both of us, and now we can just move past it.
Ken, to be fair, I told my kids I was a pirate in past life with their uncle, my brother-in-law, and unfortunately, my daughter went to school and told everyone. So I've got a ton of experience on how to figure out how to not be a pirate and claim you already were. Not sure where I'm heading with that, but I think Gronkowski's not sure where he's heading down there. They don't even do spring break down there. He's about to bring the party. They better keep him off the beaches for at least the next couple months so we can have a season.
I mean, it's the best situation ever. They get zero tread on their tire. The two of the players in the National Football League, they're the best players who you're legitimately worried that their next hit is their last play, both Gronkowski and Brady. And now you put him in a situation where no one can do anything. You literally aren't even allowed to play anything. You can't do anything at all. You can only sit at home. If I'm putting $30 million a year into Tom Brady and I just brought Gronkowski back to make a run at this, I'm bubble wrapping him and putting him in a basement. And, you know, unfortunately for them, Florida's open for business. I mean, they're going to be able to start doing some working out. We'll see how that all shakes out. But for the Redskins, Trent Williams, we have 2 days to talk about this trade because it needs to happen.
Hey,
Yeah.
You know, we're all sitting around watching Twitter, but I've got a reliable source that's got in touch with me and dropped a dime. Take it for what you will. I'm not going to drop any names on my side, but said keep an eye on Odell Beckham Jr. on a trade with the Cleveland Browns. That Ron Rivera, after his flirtation with Cooper, is adamant to get a top-grade weapon for our guy and to keep the eyes open for Odell Beckham. I don't know how he fits this whole culture change, but I know this. After this season, he doesn't have any dead salary cap. So if it's a one-year project and it doesn't work, we can cut ties. And if so, he's at about $15 million on average for the next 3 years. I don't know, but I like bringing up Trent Williams rumor every Tuesday.
Wait, so just real fast, Kevin, Cleveland calls you tomorrow and offers you Odell Beckham for Trent Williams. You say?
Damn, I forgot to ask myself this question before I brought up this topic. But you know what? The way the contract looks, Ken, I think you have one season on the hook with them. Then it costs you nothing to get rid of them if we have to part ways after one season before we establish this culture before year 2, which is a big deal. I'm saying, hell yeah. Odell Beckham versus releasing him or a 5th-round draft choice. Hell yeah, give Dwayne Haskins Odell Beckham Jr. Let's see what happens in that locker room, though. You need some Thomas Davis-type guidance.
T, are you pulling that trigger?
Sign me up.
I don't know how you say no to that at all. I don't think you can. I think it would be malpractice if you said no to that trade. I don't understand. Here's the part that okay, so Kevin, you're absolutely right. You can't just afford to not get anything for Trent Williams and make him sit out and no one wins and it's terrible. So you have to avoid that at all costs, I think. But if avoiding that at all costs nets you Odell Beckham, that's pretty crazy. Now, can anybody answer me why every time he goes somewhere, he's like the first guy mentioned in the trade talks from that team? Like, why is that?
I know, and I hear you, and I agree with it, and I hate it. I said, you know, for the long haul, we'll see. The young man is now 27 years old. I'm not saying that he fits our culture change, but you guys have seen it, and I've mentioned it every week on the show. The one thing that's kind of bothered me about this whole new regime is 120 to Amari Cooper. I was shocked by it. I think our willingness to get a big-time playmaker for our second-year guy is a big, big deal. And with that 3rd-round pick, I don't think there's a playmaker right there at the receiver position. Would there be earlier on in the 2nd round? I think so. And I think they're trying to just figure out all the angles here. But, you know, 1 year of Odell, and we'll see what happens. Hey, he's a lot different now at 27 than he was at 21, I'll say that.
He's really good. Terry McLaurin is really good. And I don't know.
Scott Turner with Odell.
Yeah.
With Scott Turner, how he would get him into open space and let him be the athlete he is. You know, well, I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard to just say no right away.
So if you're Cleveland, though, if you think you can get, if you're Cleveland and think you can call the Washington Redskins and somehow send David Njoku plus something else not nailed down for Trent Williams, I don't know if you're giving up. See, I don't know if you're giving up Beckham for that, but I also know that Cleveland has 2 other receivers that they love. I'm gonna get their names wrong. I think Higgins.
Landry.
Is it Higgins?
Landry.
Well, no. Besides Jarvis, I'm saying like other guys that they like. Jarvis is the number one. Jarvis is the number one on 31 and a half teams. Maybe that's taking it a step too far. 30 teams. Jarvis is awesome. Jarvis
25.
is actually 35. 25. Okay. Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins. Who else?
Odell Beckham Jr.
Okay.
Now 29. We need 4 more, and whatever. We'll get there. I like my guy, my number 1, to be a speedster. I love Jarvis Landry's football playing ability, but
Yeah. No,
he's like a 4.7 guy.
But to your point, I was putting Jarvis Landry as the reason why Odell Beckham is expendable is because you have Jarvis Landry. You still have a number 1 who's produced at a number 1 level, like a number 1 elite number 1 level. And I think they love. I think his name is Higgins. It might be something like Callaway or Alloway, another like a 4th guy. They have guys, and their whole thing is Baker Mayfield's the guy, so they shouldn't have to need Landry and Beckham. If we had Beckham and McLaurin next year, that'd be pretty special. T, let me ask you this. I'll ask you this because I don't know. Kevin might feel strongly one way or the other, but so T, you're a quarterback like Kyle Allen, and you're coming into the Washington Redskins. Most people think you're going to be a backup. You started 12 games last year, but most people think you're the kind of guy who no one wants to fall in love with. Maybe someone wants to date for a handful of games. And they bring in a receiver like Beckham, who Scott Turner and you are familiar with each other. Does that increase your chance to start over Haskins?
I think it really depends on Haskins, right? I mean, it depends on what he's capable of picking up. All I know is that if you have a chance to get a guy like Odell Beckham, then Allen knows and has experience with, you have a go-to guy in the NFL. There's a guy on that squad, more times than not, that is your go-to security blanket. When you have a 3rd and 5, and you got to get it. You got your go-to guy. Odell Beckham is that kind of go-to guy. The only difference between Allen and Haskins is that Allen has had actual experience and how to utilize that guy, how that works. And so it's going to be up to whether Dwayne can pick that up enough so that the coach is confident putting him in the game. But if not, you got a veteran backup with experience. That's the best case of all scenarios.
On the 1s and 2s tonight, Andrew Deere and everybody. I want to say a special shout out to Greg Martin as well for setting me up as the Charlie Brown to his Lucy. I think that's just wrong. I don't think that's very fair at all. I want to, T and Kevin, I know that there's been a lot of nights where we've had like this one thing that happened where I tried to tell everybody that this was going to be like a huge thing, and no one wanted to believe me at the moment. And so I'm going to give you my latest installment in that series, and it goes like this. If people don't think right this very second that there's at least a 50% chance that Kyle Allen is the starting quarterback for the Washington Redskins whenever this thing kicks off.
Stop doing this.
I'm telling you.
You're making me sad.
No, Kevin, sorry, this isn't to make anybody sad. I think that the Washington Redskins feel like they have the tiger by the tail, that there's no need whatsoever to rush Haskins into anything, and that if Scott Turner feels like he can execute his offense with Kyle Allen, who he played with for 12 games last year, I think he's going to have the freedom to make that choice. I'm not saying that that's the way that they should go or that's where my heart wants them to go. All I'm saying is if you're a Redskins fan and you're completely discounting that reality, you're making a huge error. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying this. You know how many things have to happen before this is a legitimate conversation? They have not even been on the same practice field together.
Testing, contact tracing, isolation,
It
all of it.
It would not be a good thing for us if that was the case. So, it's a good thing that we have another guy, but that's what we accomplished by bringing Kyle Allen in. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Kevin, you're right. Kevin, you're 100% right. And part of my argument, and it has to be inherent in like adult NFL conversation. The odds that two quarterbacks play for a team in a season are at least 50%. I mean, that's just what happens in the league. So part of what it's not about a guy being injury prone. Haskins is not injury prone. In fact, we saw him play hurt last year. That's what he's a tough guy, and he will get hit, and he might miss time. I'm trying to just make sure people understand that Scott Turner might view Kyle Allen as more starter material than our hearts view Kyle Allen as starter material.
Then we might be doing something different in this draft, would be my guess.
I disagree, Ken.
Okay,
I disagree, Ken.
Go ahead.
I disagree, Ken, because what you're also saying, the way I hear it, is that there's a 50% chance that Dwayne Haskins is going to fail before game 1. I think this is a business first. They've invested more time and money in taking Haskins at number 15 last year. It's his job to lose. I don't know what the percentage is. I don't think. I think they're going to every opportunity to screw up, and that's not knocking anybody. That's giving your number 1 draft pick a year ago every opportunity to be the guy.
It's
and you
not
bring in a Scott Allen so that you have a guy with experience that can start.
It's not 50% chance that he starts 50% of the games. Sorry, I was helping Rhett and AGH and Greg. It's a 50% chance that he's starting in week 1. That's all. That can mean a variety of things, and I don't think that makes the odds of Haskins failing at 50%. I think there's a lot involved in that 50% that's not injury related or Haskins performance related. I want Haskins to play next year. I want Alex Smith's money to roll off. I want the Redskins to feel liberated by having a third-year quarterback that they really like, that the fans like, and that players want to play with, because the money that we're going to have to spend next offseason is going to either be quarterback-related or championship related. Because if we have to replace our quarterback, that's a big deal. But if we don't, and that's what we're going to find out, I think, with Haskins this year, if we don't, now that money becomes, how do we win a championship with this money situation? And the Redskins haven't been in that situation forever, Kevin.
There's a chance we're going to have $130 million next year to spend in that offseason. We have the second wave of offseason. We have this year's draft. We have next year's offseason, next year's draft, and next year's second wave before we have to think about any of this stuff. Now we've pulled out 19 different quarterbacks that are better than Haskins. Let's just have some fun, man.
Yeah.
We're cooped up in here. Let's talk about some enjoyable crap that's fun.
I'm not done with Haskins.
The ultimate demise of Dwayne Haskins.
No.
I'm on
always...
Twitter all day long, and it's all I read about.
Oh, see, so you have to avoid that. You got.
No, I don't. I have to
stay away from that.
Tuesday nights, let's do it. Dwayne Haskins versus Kyle Allen on day 1 of training camp. I don't know. Well,
I think Dwayne Haskins wins the battle of best quarterback between those two. If you want to know where my money is on Dwayne Haskins, 110%. My whole point is that the Redskins, I think, have options at a very important position because of our coaching situation, and I think that's good. I mean, I guess my whole thing is we always heard Ron Rivera say he was going to bring in a veteran guy. I think Kyle Allen's a veteran guy. He's not a veteran by that much, but I think that he gives Scott Turner the ability to say, we're good. We can do this for a year. Go get you whatever else you need and want. And that's what, because Kevin, to your point, that you think that if some of that bad stuff were true, that we would be thinking differently about the number 2 overall pick, and we're not. We're thinking about the number 2 overall pick as Chase.
To my point, all that we talk about in this town for some godforsaken reason is who's better than Dwayne Haskins. That's all that's talked about on a daily basis. Pick a guy. Pick a guy in the draft right now that hasn't been compared to him. Pick someone that he's beaten out in previous years that's now going to be the number 1. Pick a guy that's now on his team. Everyone's just all about this guy's demise. Let him figure out what has to happen between year 1 and 2. It's a huge jump. The sophomore jump is a huge deal in the NFL. Let's let that process unfold before we start deciding who's going to beat out who and blah, blah, blah. It is the most amount of speculation ever. but it's negative speculation that the guy that we have in place to be our future might get beat out by a guy that someone else just traded for some peanuts. It's just not.
Speaking of nice, by the way, no.
Yeah, I know,
peanuts.
Lucy. I know. 5 cents for my advice. Here we go.
But no, so we're agreed on wanting it. Maybe this is just like I haven't experienced that anti-Haskins sentiment, and I don't know. I don't know
you
why.
haven't heard about, dude.
You're
Everyone
not
that's ever been
listening.
near him. This is a punch yourself in the balls conversation. That's all I'm saying.
I love Haskins.
You're not listening, then, Ken. You're not listening.
I'm not. I'm certainly not listening to people who aren't ready for Dwayne Haskins to
I
have a
stand with
legitimate shot.
Dwayne.
I stand with Dwayne too. I'm not drafting. I'm not drafting any quarterback this year because of how I feel about Dwayne Haskins. I mean that's a fact. I'm certainly not going for it. I'm not drafting a quarterback in this draft because of what I know about Dwayne Haskins. And then I don't know if that should be the best thing that we could say about Dwayne Haskins. We're not looking for his replacement in the draft. But the idea that we could add a wide receiver for Trent Williams. So the Trent Williams situation really becomes the story for the Washington Redskins in terms of how do we gain assets that we don't have, that we're not going to have because we don't have one of the best left tackles in the league. So, Kevin, what's the best we can hope for without it being Beckham?
Yeah, no, forget about Beckham. I really wish I never brought that up. That was just something to just ha-ha for a second because it's something I just heard. Without a doubt, we need to get, at a minimum, a third and something else. A second standalone would be fine. I want to see how this thing unfolds. There's no doubt in my mind that for the next 4 years, Trent Williams is the best tackle available, including this draft, including free agency. So let's see who really wants to play ball. Unfortunately, Tampa Bay, with this Gronk situation, they're cash strapped. They'd have to make a lot of things happen to bring on a Trent Williams. I don't know if that's a possibility. But 1/3 of the league has been rumored to want Trent Williams. As long as this physical, the ability to get a physical is okay, which nothing's okay with all this stuff that's going on for the next 48 hours. It's all new to everybody. But if he can get a physical, then I'd like to see us get some help. I'd say multiple third-rounders or a high third and a minimum of another pick would be my basement for it. I can't imagine if we just got one third-round pick or something like that. I imagine it's going to involve a player at some level to make everything work out because the time has made us know that this is going to be a creative situation. Someone has to get creative to make this work. And it's going to be Trent's guys.
I got it. I figured this whole thing out. Kevin,
All right,
what if instead of trading Trent Williams, what if we went to Trent's agent and said, hey, listen, we're about to have a boatload of money. Teams have a hard time spending some of this money. They really do.
Yeah.
And what if we gave you a 2-year contract, guaranteed? A guaranteed 2-year contract and I'll do the $22-23 million a year, whatever it took to get that deal done. How great would that be? I would take that. At this point in time, first of all, that'd be a huge win because I do believe what you just said, Kevin, which is that Trent Williams has really good football left in him. If the Washington Redskins could, instead of trading him for something that would make me upset, which I'm worried is going to happen, what if we just guaranteed his contract for 2 years? Is he really thinking he's going to get better? What's that?
I thought that was a non-starter for the Williams camp and this incredibly ridiculous agent.
Well, no, but T, it should be a non-starter, but they already overplayed their hand. He can't hold out for anything. If we make him sit, that hurts him immensely. And I think that's where it's heading. If I'm the Washington Redskins at this point in time, I'm not taking, someone offering me anything that's not nailed down, from the 5th or 6th round and on. I'm not doing it. And I'll let Trent's agent know that. You screwed us at this point in time. This is a new regime. Bruce Allen already screwed this up. We're done with that. But now you're not going to make us trade you for nothing so you can sign a top of the market contract. No. You have to agree to take a little bit less and we'll get something in return. And if not, guess what? Hold out. And don't play and don't get paid. And then be a year older, which is a terrible result for everybody. So why shouldn't he take a guaranteed contract for 2 or 3 years now, at $22 or $23 million a year. Redskins have the money.
I will say this: write this date down. We're never going to forget it for way more important reasons than football. September 11th, 2021. That will be the 20-year anniversary of 9/11. That's opening weekend, not this year, but the next. I believe that's when all of the Ron Rivera stuff and questions that we have in the future of the Washington Redskins will be answered. As we previously stated, the rest of this offseason, the second wave, this weekend's draft, next year's draft, and next year's offseason with $130 million. And there's going to be a ton of decisions made that we're going to review. And if one of them is to keep Trent Williams on as the best available left tackle for Dwayne Haskins, you're not going to get any arguments out of me. If you can get his agent to get his head out of his ass, Trent Williams will be welcomed back into that locker room for everything he's done here in this city. He has not ostracized himself. You have not heard him spout out on social media. You haven't heard him talk any crap about anyone that's involved with the Washington Redskins at this point. That's a big deal to me.
I'm just trying to embrace the situation that is, or a possibility of him coming back. I know it. No one thinks that's likely. Our board here is lighting up. They also think that is very unlikely, and that's fair. It probably is. But the NFL,
things change in this league overnight,
they
and
do.
I know they're right. They're right to think that way. But we all know what happens. One article gets written on Thursday. On Saturday, it's 100% different. There's a 180. We know how it goes, and I'm seeing through all that muck and coming out on the other side. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. You talked about a possibility, and yes, it's not a highly likely one right now, especially with everything we've read in the media. But there's a lot more to this with a guy like Trent Williams. There's a lot more.
Hey, T, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
All right, so in the last week, stuck at home like the rest of us, what was your I would say go-to delivery meal of the last 7 days?
We've only gotten one delivery
Okay.
in the last month,
Okay.
and we went on my daughter's strong recommendation of Cheesecake Factory through DoorDash.
Ooh, okay. What was your order? That's pretty good.
My order there, it was the Steak Diane.
Okay, a classic order from that's for a 27-page menu.
Oh, no, you know what?
Everyone knows that one.
No, our main go-to, though, was Off the Hook.
There you go, John Tier with the best crab soup that you'll
We
ever
got
have.
2 Fridays at that. I forgot about that, but that was a special deal because of John Tier.
Off the Hook is always the best way to go. But Kevin Ricka, what do you got? Or did you make something that was better than something you ordered?
First of all, I've been doing all of it, but Off the Hook, I've been doing deliveries for those guys with my cousin John, getting out of the house on Friday. Masked up, gloved up, the whole nine. The seafood situation was ridiculous. This past weekend, we got the pulled pork and the wings, the Old Bay wings. Oh man, Off the Hook's killing it. They're ridiculous. I've been making recipes at home. I got a ham and bean soup coming from the Easter ham that I got. We're doing it up over here, man. I'm telling you, I am going to be 400 pounds or something's going to break before this whole thing is over. The best delivery I've got, I ordered 5 guys. They were at my door with everything dropped off, 6 feet away from the door and out of there within about 15 minutes. And I missed that burger, that sweet deliciousness. 5 guys is my order, baby.
All right, so give me your burger order. What's on it? Single,
Everything,
double?
all the way.
All the way,
with
everything all the way.
All the
right.
way with extra cheese.
All the way with extra cheese. God,
You're
those are the
shaking your
kinds.
head at all the way with extra cheese, bro. I put buns on mine, sweet buns. They're soft and delicious.
I know how you
And
feel
they have
about
bread
sweet
in
buns too. It's just,
I for some reason gravitate towards the grilled onions, grilled mushrooms, and the A1 sauce.
so we're gonna be back to enjoying some of this food together, and that will happen. I want to.
Ken?
What do you got?
If you don't let me ask you some of these questions, I'm going to come over there and unsocial distance myself.
Bring it.
Ken, it's the only thing we talked about in pre-production. I'm starting to worry about you. I think maybe all this quarantining is getting to you, man.
Well, I feel very isolated, but at the same time, that's why we're bringing all our tools to bear to end the isolation for as many people as possible. I'm going grill. I'm rediscovering a grilled lifestyle in a way that I didn't think was possible, and like that was acceptable to the whole family. Because now I feel like everybody, now that we're not eating at as many restaurants on a regular basis, and like the special meals and dishes that would ordinarily come from someone else, now we're making them, whatever they might be. So like the good players, the Chase Youngs on my menu are starting to stand out just a little bit, and drumsticks, chicken drumsticks, soaking them in, a little whiskey marinade, a Tuesday night marinade, as we like to call it in the Marangolo house, and let it go on the grill for a little while, bring it up to temperature, and go to town. And you guess what? Chicken's a great thing to buy at this point in time. We're in this. We need to support our farmers. Buy up that chicken. Eat up some chicken. Come on, Kevin. What else do you want? I'm trying to give you. I'm giving it to you.
I honestly, I'm worried about you right now. Chicken's a good thing to buy. Like what? Yeah.
Buy chicken. I don't. When I continue to buy stock, continue to buy oil. The only thing in the world that is holding its value is chicken. Maybe bacon. Actually, bacon. If you have bacon right now, it's like gold. You should bury that in your backyard.
That's all I eat. I can only do bacon so many ways.
Our currency is going to change from gold to some form of poultry or pork product. Yeah. Scrapple. Watch out. Scrapple's return. You know what? How about this, Kevin and T? How about instead of calling for the Kyle Allen era, I'll just rename it. I'm calling for the Scrapple era. The Scrapple era is coming back. It's all about Scrapple from here on out. And go ahead.
So can I get this straight?
Yeah.
After they chop up all the lips and buttholes, you're calling for the era of us cleaning all of that up and eating it for breakfast.
In a brick form, fried on a skillet. Yes, I am. Yes, that's a fact.
I'm not afraid to eat Scrapple. Scrapple's good. I have a Scrapple T-shirt.
You look great in it, I bet.
You can't just wrap the Scrapple on the T-shirt and tell people that you like Scrapple. You got to wear it.
Why would that embarrass me? I love Scrapple.
Not you specifically, because obviously everyone knows that you love Scrapple, and it has nothing to do with your T-shirt.
You don't get physique without eating some Scrapple.
Our friends in the UK. By the way, it's after 3 a.m. there. What the hell are you guys still doing watching us on a Tuesday night? Appreciate you guys. That's all.
Hey, Ken,
my number one question.
What do you got?
Ken, I know what's not coming back.
What?
Mustaches.
That's not true.
They need your mustache back. Hey, can Andrew Deeren play Magic Carpet Ride? We'll just change the words to Magic Mustache Ride.
I don't know. Does Andrew Deeren know
happened?
Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf?
What just happened?
Possibly to change it to Magic Mustache Ride. I don't know if we can do that in the basement. It sounds like a basement song, actually.
Honestly, unless I talk to the both of you before next Thursday and Tuesday, we're not doing this like this anymore.
Don't do pre-production.
It's actually pretty.
Everything Ken and I talked about in pre-production has not happened.
None of it.
One of it.
None of it. Very little of it. That's kind of standard, though.
That I have to answer to my wife for what I've done for the last 8 hours.
But hey, now it's on video and in multi-screen and 2-shot and 3-shot. You've probably done more than you think, because if you think about it, your head-to-screen ratio alone has been like incredibly effective.
I had to sit here for the last month on a cell phone, looking at you, looking like a sexual deviant, smiling directly into the camera, looking me right in the eyes. So I'm a little red-faced. I'm a little fired up. I apologize.
Oh, you don't ever apologize for anything.
But I'm clean-shaven.
You are. You look great. You know how to cut hair. I mean, that's a big advantage in today's day and age. That's like worth its weight in gold.
I can shape you guys up, but I'm not touching that Strachan piece. Not touching that. God bless and good luck, Leslie.
Tucking it behind the ears.
Those are some wings. Hey, guys, we're going to do this again in 2 days. I want to say thank you for helping us test out the equipment, the technology, all the folks on the board. Please come back on Thursday. We'll be live by 7. We'll have some cool guests. We'll be doing this. Hopefully we'll be hearing this. Tickling the E's, the A's, the D's, the G's, the B's, the other E's. His name is Andrew Deeren, and he has been live in the basement. Joined also by our main man, Luke David, who's been absolutely crushing it on a weekly basis for First Amendment Sports and Automatic Sports and Automatic Films for all of your nonfiction storytelling needs and basement direction. Thank you to Victor Maddox. We appreciate you as well, sir. I know you're down there on your palatial 1,100-acre estate. It's completely walled off with its own mayor, I believe, and law enforcement security force. Their electric golf carts are the talk of Eastern Shore.
With the backs against the fence.
My good friend Tim Strachan, always looking great with PT40 and S double deuce.
Yeah, man. No, appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
He is my good friend Kevin Ricca. He went to St. John's College High School.
Hey, I want to say thank you to our boy Andrew Deeren, our man Luke David, our guy Ben Morrison. Hey, Ken, thank you for setting this up, man. Looks good. I mean, the camera absolutely adds 27 pounds, but it looks good, man. Everything looks fun. Well, let's get this done. Pre-production all day tomorrow. We Zoom meeting at 8:45, 2, and 7:15. You guys checking us out on the board. I appreciate you guys every week. Big week for all of us. Love your opinions. Love your participation. And love that you guys are staying safe out there and joining us every Tuesday. Hey, till Thursday, be a good sport.
T?
Appreciate it, guys. First Amendment Cruise, #1 in my book. Appreciate everything you do. To all those young guys listening, stay grounded.
On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo, saying what I say at the beginning of every single show. 2 simple words. Thank you. We'll see you in 48 hours.
Still live.
Still
live.
Live. Eric Anderson, love you.
Almost got a bigger truck, baby, nearly passed us by. Well, we jumped right in and the driver ran, and he dropped us up the road. And we looked at the swim, and we jumped right in, not to mention fishing pole. Oh, the water. Oh, water. Oh, the water. Hope it don't rain all day.
Nice. All right, I'm done.